Hey everyone, it's Reed, and you're watching MOI. Today, I got something a little less crazy out of my imagination. I thought I'd share with you. Now, if you look around at the amazing, crazy scenery, you can tell I live in a desert. This is the land of enchantment, or the state of New Mexico, as we say. It's a little dry out here. Now, I actually live on top of a massive, huge underground aquifer, and I have a well, so I can use water everything. Water is not a big problem for me because I invested to take care of it. And we have the mountains and stuff like that around the area, and when the monsoon hits, things refill. This area of New Mexico is very well off on water and things like that. So we're good there. But because of the heat, everything else that goes on around here, watering the plants can be a bit of a challenge. And I found the best system for me and my area of what I do is the drip system. For a while, I used to use sprinklers and stuff like that. And yeah, they stink. No other way around it. They just don't work very well. The problem is you put all this water out, you gets on the ground, kind of runs off, moves away and all that, and it evaporates. You lose a ton of water like that. Doesn't go into the ground as well as you want, okay? And so I started also having a big issue with my keyholes trying to find sprinklers that fit. I'd had these things on the center and the tops and whirly-doies and stuff like that, and it just wasn't very good. And I was like, well, let's try the drip system. Hey, big win! Now, for people that have seen like the parts and stuff like that at Home Depot or Walmart or something like that, you're wondering, is this hard? Now, it turns out the drip system is actually quite easy and very straightforward to set up. And I wasn't really sure what to get, and I was at Walmart and they had all these parts just like that, and price I thought looked reasonable. I wasn't entirely sure at the time. It's like, well, I'll buy this, I'll buy that, and do all this other stuff. Bought some of these stuff. And as you can see, the kit I bought is made by Orbit. Okay, ignore Orbit drip system. And you can also find a lot of parts and stuff like that on Amazon. So I bought, this accessory kit and stuff like that. Here, let me show you what's in there. Ooh, all these parts. Well, it turns out this kit, not nearly as helpful. All right. There's a lot of pieces in here that actually turned out to be not all that useful to me because it's got, quarter sprinklers, half sprinklers, where the pattern's like 180 degrees, 90 degrees spray pattern, whirly sprinklers. It's got all sorts of options. And it turns out for my area and what I'm trying to do, I just need two styles. Here's style one, okay? It's on a stake, all right? And then it's got a thing atop. And you can adjust how much it sprays. It sprays in 360 degrees around. And the other one, it's a flag or a dripper, okay? So you put this and it just puts water out. I put these in areas that are kind of dry, and I put them on my trees and stuff like that. And I put this everywhere else. So that's what it turns out. I just needed these two. The, what's this one called? The adjustable multi-stream emitter with stake. Okay, so there you go. And these guys are pressure compensating dripper. These are the 2 gallon per hour ones. They also have a 4 gallon per hour one. And they work great. Okay. Now these guys plug into 1/4 inch tubing, this little stuff. And it's within the kits and all that you can buy at the store. And you just push this on. I'm not going to push it on because it don't come off. Or at least without damaging. I've not been able to successfully carefully cut. So you just break the plastic on the outer shell and not damage the barb on this part. Haven't been able to do that. So they're kind of permanent on that. Now, the other thing though is you're going to need some accessories on the 1/4 inch. You're going to need tees. You're going to need unions. You're going to need elbows and stuff like that. And then plugs and Ks usually. And then you can get these little 1/4 inch tubing accessory packs for that. And it works great. It's like that. The only thing I don't like about it though is it takes a fair amount of pressure to get pushed on here. And I really wear my hands out and fingers doing this. And it's a pretty hefty duty thing. Now the main supply line for the drip system is this stuff, this big 1/2 inch feed tube or distribution tube or whatever it's called. Now this stuff is right up there with in the kits aisle. So the 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. So the two sizes I've seen. I haven't seen anything else. And you can check online and stuff like that and order things from Amazon or wherever else you want. And you have to hook this tube up to this tube. Now there's 2 ways to do that. One, okay, you take this owl thing, all right, and you puncture a hole right directly into the tube. You just push in real hard and press, and it does that. And then you take one of these straight 1/4 inch feeding thing, union, so it's a straight. You push it directly into the tube, push it in right in there, and then push the tube into that. And it actually happens to make a leak tight seal. I don't like it because it abuses the holy crud out of my fingers. I mean, I was bruised like crazy because it actually takes a fair amount of force, and my fingers did not appreciate it. Now the other option, you can buy this, all right? So this goes on like this, okay? And these ones are removable. You can squeeze this real hard and then you can just pull the tube out. So I like that. And then you got this, right? And then you can put the 1/4 inch tubing right there. It's just push lock. If you want it out, you just push that down and push it out. I like these a lot. They don't abuse my fingers to no end, and I can move things and adjust things if necessary. The only problem is these cost like $3 per little thingy, and you get 2, versus if you buy a bunch of the 1/4 inch tubes, 1/4 inch straights, and you put a bunch of pokes everywhere, you can, do whatever you need without any problem, and it's a lot cheaper. But my fingers are worth the comfort. Anyways, let me show you what one of the direct connectors to this looks like. I'm going to throw up a photo here real quick, and you can see how the connections where I've done it before, of how the tube literally goes straight into the distribution tube. You can see how it's just kind of linked up there. Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of hard to put in there. It really kind of abuses your fingertips. Be prepared to have odd blisters and peeling later, because I sure did. Now, let me show you the stuff working away in my potato world. Welcome to my expanded potato area. Now, these ones are some of the volunteers I had from last year that already got going. And these are ones that I had some little dried up ones, and I tried to see if they get started, and yeah, they got going. And then way back here, this is potato from seed, and they're actually gumming. As crazy as that is. Wild, really. We'll see what they actually produce. And there's some more volunteers back under that. Now, but the point is, there's the drip. This was one of the key things to actually me getting potatoes, was being able to use the drip irrigation system. And it makes certain everything gets really well watered. And I don't use a ton of water, but it also, the way it releases the water, the rate lets the ground have enough time to absorb it. So it limits the flow out, so you're not like dumping all this water out like a big old sprinkler, and where it mostly goes on top of the ground, runs off, and then evaporates and everything else. This, it releases at a rate that the ground can absorb all the water. And this means it goes deeper into the soil, and the roots get everything absorbed, and the plants do a lot better. And it means I also save a ton of water, which is a huge, big win for me out here in this crazy desert. Such. And we'll give you guys updates, and you can see how the new potatoes and stuff go. And I'm going to actually extend this out further. I've got more potatoes coming. It took a while to find where I could get some more seed potatoes. Yeah, the runs on all the stuff has just been nuts. But we're getting progress on that. So I am working on doing that. And we're going to expand this so it'll double in size a bit more. So we'll have quite a bit more on potatoes. And I'm going to see what I can do to even expand further out again. So I'll be saving quite a few and having quite a few volunteers for next year. I do like my potatoes. So that's how the potatoes are doing. But most importantly, how important it is for me to use the drip irrigation system. As you got to see how it works in the potato world. And all the potatoes growing along, it's like that. And I'll have a nice, good selection of potatoes again this year. Munch to munch on and enjoy. Now the nice thing, I actually have quite a few different varieties of potatoes. I got purple potatoes, I got red potatoes, I got golden potatoes. I got these new ones called purple Viking potatoes. They're actually purple on the outside, but white on the inside. They're brand new, I haven't tried them. And then I've also got potatoes from seed. Yeah, like little tiny seeds, like tomato seed size seeds. As crazy as that is. Wild, really. We're gonna see what happens. I bet I'm only gonna end up with maybe like stew-sized potatoes this year, but I'll save a lot of them and then plant them again next year and see what kind of plants we get. be interesting to see what goes on. And if they make any berries, I will definitely save the berries so I can get the seeds out of that and keep propagating things. Genetic diversity, good thing. But they do really good there. Now, the other thing I've been doing today and working my utter butt off, and I am sore. I am so ridiculously sore because pulling weeds is a pain in the butt. Thankfully, Lee is my good little helper, and she helps pull a bunch of the weeds and deal with it because she does really, really well at dealing with that. For some reason, my back, ever since I tossed it out horrifically. And if you want the story of how I hurt my back, I'll put a link up to the video up here. Oh. Anyways, it gets real cranky at me, you know, getting down there, pulling the weeds and stuff like that. I gotta find some other way to do that. And I keep doing more exercise like that. And I'm getting back into doing a lot more exercise, trying to get out of the house now. You know, stay out of the chair, stay out of my desk, stuff, go out and do things. But I love being outside now and things. The cold weather bugs me a bit. But so I'll get a lot more exercise. But let me show you this other area. Now here's the new garden area that I am putting together. And as you can see, like the start of this video, we're getting it all done with drip. We just got this put in and laid out today. We've been weeding it because otherwise stuff looks like this. So it takes a bunch. And you see this rock pile over here? Yeah, all of that has come from over here. This place is a rock psycho place. Rocks everywhere. Now I'm primarily going to put in this section beans, corn, and squash. I'm going to put yellow squash. We're going to put some watermelons. Also going to include probably some zucchini and stuff. But yeah, this whole little area here is going to be growing away. And we're going to have it all watered with the drip system. And here's another tree we got in here. Now, one of the things I have noticed that's super, super important to getting a tree established and to survive in my crazy area is you have to not just water the tree, you have to water all the ground around it. Okay, the ground here, as we call it, natural cement. It compacts, it's hard, it's just insane to work with. Plus digging in here, I mean, you see these rocks? Yeah, these come out of here. In fact, you see that big one there? Don't even ask what it took to get that out of the ground. I mean, I was thinking I needed to go get someone to come out here and blast it out. It was so bad. You don't want to know that story. But yeah, there's rocks everywhere. But anyways, we're going to plant all around these trees that we've added, all these nice fruit trees. Like this one is a nectarine, and the one over here, whoops, there we go, is an apple tree. We're going to have these growing and getting all their stuff. And all the plants and stuff like that around them will break up the soil, loosen all that, so they can spread their roots out really well and get very well established. If I don't do this, every tree I've tried to start here that is not inside a garden that has everything else growing around and stuff like that, they all die. I've tried even just watering all the soil around them and everything else, and I still run into tons and tons of problems. And I found, basically, I need other plants to help break up stuff near them and things. These fruit trees are like, we need help. Help us, please, please. All right, so you see what's going on over here. Well, now you've seen everything, kind of what's going on, how we're cleaning stuff up, getting rocks out of areas like that, putting the irrigation and all that. We're going to be real busy for the next month or two. Now, the thing is, I'm hoping for about a 1/4 acre, get everything planted out, so like that, and we can see what the yields are. I've got a real good idea of what I should get, okay? But like I say, I like to build up the soil a lot of times with a lot of other plant material and others like that, so it's a lot breadier. This, we're trying to just go whole hog real quick, see what we get. And we'll find out. We'll find out, because I've done a little bit without doing a bunch of plant material and other stuff like that, so building the soil, so I kind of know what I get. Now, the interesting thing is I've been using a type of corn called Painted Mountain. One of the real cool things about Painted Mountain is it will germinate in much cooler weather. It's actually a strain that was designed to germinate in cool weather in Montana, and then, you know, grow like that in the hot summer and stuff like that. It yields well out here, stuff like that. But the real advantage is I'm pretty sure I can get 3 plantings of corn for the season out here. So like that, because I can plant very early, so like that. Usually, regular corn and all that, people get 2 out here. We have a very, very long growing season. and stuff like that. And I'm even going to try growing chickpeas or garbanzo beans with on the northern side where there's a little shade, stuff like that, see if I can get them, because they need a very long time to grow. I do like hummus and other stuff with chickpeas. Quite tasty and all that. But gonna get a good idea on that. I'm pretty sure I need growing area in the season. I'm gonna need probably about 1 full acre to grow enough food to feed Lee and I raw calorie wise. I mean, there's other things, nutrition, all this stuff like that. Eventually gonna get greenhouse set up and everything else like that. I got a ton of things to do. But there you go, what's going on. We'll find out how things are going. We'll try some other varieties of tepary beans. I want to see some black ones, and I got some white ones to mess with as well. Strains I haven't had a chance to mess with yet. And that's what's doing. So, stuff I've been doing. Let me know what you guys have been doing. Curious what you guys are growing, how you're setting up, expanding things and all that. And we're going to see if I can make this desert bloom a bit better. Take care, everyone. This is Reed, out for now.